Morning, Sophie.
Good morning, Gina and Tom. How are you both doing? We had a
Well,
good week.
I think we've had a good week. It sort of goes by day to day and hour to hour here. We can't remember what happened like 2 hours ago. However, we can remember we are talking. Well, it started off with talking toast and marmalade this morning, and it seems to have opened a real big can of worms, and everybody seems to be getting in touch with us. We've just had a message in, well, just now, isn't it, Tom? I haven't seen it yet, from Gavin.
Yeah, so Rachel got in touch with like a whole directory as to how she has her sandwiches and her pieces of toast with her butter and not with butter, and toasties and some with ham and some without. And then Rachel's got back in touch. Gavin wants in on this too. So everyone wants in on whether they have butter with jam on toast or butter with jam on sandwiches. And Gavin is like, definitely salted butter with jam sandwiches or toast, which I agree with. But Gina, you don't have butter. Well, you don't do sandwiches full stop.
I don't do that. Well, I don't do jam sandwiches, so I'm not having the butter with the jam sandwich. But if you're toasting the bread, I'll have the butter with the jam. I'm up for that.
Okay, but he's gone one step further of talking about Marmites and peanut butters. He says, what about beef burgers with fish fingers on it? Sophie, what's your view on that?
Well, I have to say, I'm on a detox at the moment, guys. I'm on a detox, and I'm not eating anything that's processed. So fish fingers would definitely be out. Beef burgers only if they're homemade. So I don't think I'd eat any of it at the moment. But I don't know. I'm just trying to work it out. I've got this kind of burger in my hand. Can you see it? It's like
I've got it. I mean, I can taste it.
It's like a surf and turf, I suppose, in a bun, isn't it? That's what it is. It's a surf and turf in a bun.
Oh, yeah. I'll have one then. I'll have one.
I'm gonna have to try it.
I'm out on this because I don't do the steak and the prawns together. I don't like a surf and turf. So the fish fingers and the burger, it's a no from me, I'm afraid.
H has just gone one step further. Everyone loves a fish finger sandwich. That's a given. But she's just said pot noodle sandwich.
No, H, please don't.
I think it's about time we move on. It's Grati-Tuesday. It's Grati-Tuesday here on a Tuesday. Sophie, it's been a couple of weeks since we've seen you. You're on this detox and you're just saying how wonderful it is. But that's not what you're grateful for today, is it?
It's not what I mean. I am grateful for that too, but I am grateful today. Today I am grateful for plumbers. Today is Hug a Plumber Day. So, and this is why we need to be grateful for plumbers. Okay, all right. So, plumbers have kept water flowing since ancient Rome. Yeah, they've improved lives in the West beyond measure. And it's something we take for granted, if you ask me. Something we take for granted because obviously in other countries they don't have the water systems that we have in place here, and we are very, very lucky. And often plumbers and other tradesmen, so I'm going to bring other tradesmen into this as well, get a bit of a bad reputation, don't they? And they usually, because they've either made a mistake or they've charged more than they said they would, or something has made it harder for them than they thought they would. And customers also can be a bit tricky sometimes. Customers are tricky people, and generally tradespeople are avoided, aren't they, wherever, because they're expensive, and so on and so forth. So people are trying to avoid these poor people, and it reminded me of Jesus. That's lucky, isn't it? On a Tuesday morning,
I was wondering where we were connecting up here.
Tenuous link. So often Jesus, bless him, spent lots of time with people who were outcast, lots of time who other people tried to avoid. So the taxman and other debt collectors. He often spent time with people with illnesses that other people tried to avoid, and often Roman centurions as well, indeed. And Jesus just loved everybody. And so I think today, what we need to do on this Hug a Plumber Tuesday is that we need to spend a moment just counting all the ways that we appreciate plumbers, celebrate by thanking a plumber that we know, and send them a card or a gift or a shout out on the radio, and give them a big hug when you next see your local plumber and say thank you.
I think my plumber's wife would be chasing me if I sent him here's a hug today. So I'll say, have a nice hug, Nick, my plumber.
I was going to say, yeah, a big hug goes out to Dreamy and to Greeno. They've all got nicknames, plumbers, haven't they? So yeah, we'll send out a big love to them as well. And but you're saying there, it's not just the plumbers though, is it, Sophie? It's anyone who doesn't necessarily get a good reputation, like football referees.
Yes. Yeah, anybody that gets stomped on because everything's gone wrong, it's always their fault. Yeah,
indeed,
definitely. I have a confession to make, though. To make. My dad was once a plumber. He's not anymore. He does other things now, but he used to be a plumber. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for plumbers. So there, big hug to my dad today.
Oh, big hugs to Sophie's dad. Oh, I love that. Did he get hugged too much and that's why he had to change trade?
Unfortunately, he was quite poorly. So he was quite poorly, so he had quite a lot of problems with his back and that sort of thing. And he couldn't crawling around in small spaces anymore. So he does something else now instead. But that's he's a happy man. He's a happy man. So
good,
lovely, love that.
And Helen Marie there sending big hugs to everyone as well. Big hugs to you all on social media as well. I love that. So when we're out and about and you're seeing someone that's maybe got a less than desirable profession, at least they're doing that hard work. Like, I don't want to clean a toilet. I'd rather get a skilled professional to do it. So thank you to all those that get their hands dirty doing the jobs that we don't want to do. And yeah, a big hug to everyone. Thank you so much, Sophie.
That's all right. You're very welcome. I'm sorry. I know that Father Neil comes along with very theological insight on a Tuesday morning, and you get.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll do it all again next Tuesday with, well, probably Father Neil with the way that it's running at the moment. And we look forward to it. And of course, Alive and Kicking every Sunday. And well, you were talking about detox last Sunday, weren't you?
We did. I did mention it briefly. I think I'm going to have to get this lady on the show personally. Big shout. I think a big shout out to Amy, because it literally changed my life this week. Okay.
Oh,
wow.
I have lost 4 pounds. I've changed the way that I've been eating, and my skin's better, and I feel better in myself, and just amazing. So big shout out to Amy Desborough over in Nayland. She is awesome.
Amazing. You can listen back to that show at purewestradio.com. Just search for Alive and Kicking. It begins with an A, so it's at the top of the list if you're searching. And there'll be another installment this coming Sunday. Alive and Kicking with Reverend Sophie and Father Neil. We've got some Traffic and Travel on the way, some Gabrielle, some Marshmallow and Churches. Oh, Churches. And LaRue all coming here on Pure West Radio. It's just gone 9:15, 15 minutes to get your guesses in for Unscramble. What could it be on this day of days, Gina?
Do you know what? Well, I'm coming on to something else. You know, we have churches for the Reverend Sophie. Earlier on, Reverend Sophie, he had Stupid Girl for me. Can you believe it?
If I'm going out on my new paddleboard, the last thing I'm taking is my phone, right?